had that primary blessing and he had that secondary blessing.
Yeah. See, God doesn't have a Billy Graham scale and the little guy preaching to 3 people in the countryside in a little church that it's easy for them to just get there so they keep the church. God doesn't have a scale that calls you Billy Graham or calls you Billy the Hillbilly. He don't have that scale. Because Billy the Hillbilly preaching to those 3 people is just as powerful as God is if he helps them accomplish their purpose, and he's doing his purpose. His purpose may be those 3 people. So when he gets in front of Christ, he's going to go, well done, thy good and faithful servant. See, we like to put it in, well, if I had 10, I blew it because I didn't have 100. Or if I had 100, I blew it because I didn't have 1,000. Well, I had 1,000, and we get, the enemy likes to beat us up. Are you doing what God asked you to do the moment he asked you to do it, the way he asked you to do it? The results are his anyway.
Yeah, back in the 70s, we had a missionary couple who, they were already middle-aged to seasoned, and they'd been in a certain country in the Arab world, and they had never seen a convert, and they continued to be faithful. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what the reward is going to be, because God knows it's his Holy Spirit that convicts and saves people. I don't think he's going to get mad at them and put them down and make them sit, on the bleachers, because he didn't do something with his Holy Spirit after they were faithful.
Right.
I think it's really just their faithfulness.
Yeah. Who was there was a missionary that was a missionary to headhunters. Flew a plane in, they killed him.
Oh yeah,
Elliot.
Elliot. There were 5 of them, but
Elliot, and then his family went back years later.
Yeah. Nate Saint's son went back. Yeah.
And they say they got the tribe saved because I think they were getting ready to kill him too. And somehow they found out that he was the guy. It was a relative of the guys that killed him,
and he was son.
But the Indian, if you want to call him that, was getting ready to kill him because he was with his buddies. They were going to kill him too, but somehow they found out that was my father. I'm his son, and I'm coming anyway. And however they conversed, he's like, "You knew we were going to kill you because we killed your entire family and your entire people, and you came anyway." And the Holy Spirit took over at that moment and saved that whole tribe. But their seeds we plant, we may never know. That's why he says some will water, and some will plant.
The guy in Saudi Arabia, they can be put to death if they become Christians. So they may have had some converts, but they couldn't. They had to be sort of closet converts.
Yeah. They may have. Wasn't Saudi Arabia, but it was in the Arab. Well, it's actually the Trucial States, which became the Emirates.
Yeah,
okay.
It's fascinating. Verse 9. Therefore, whether we are at home on earth or away from home and with him, it is our constant ambition to be pleasing to him. That's right there. That's what it is. I just want to please you, Lord. And pleasing you means I will go, I will do, I will say what you need me to be.
Yeah.
And we have to realize that we have to be very attuned to the difference between conviction and condemnation. Because the Holy Spirit will convict us if we're not doing, saying, and going where he wants us to go. At the same time, the enemy is going to try to be condemning you, whether you did it or not. You should have did more. Or you should have done that, or you should have did this. That's why when we get important to the putting on the whole armor of God, the enemy's playground is in your head. It's the only place he can attack you. The outside circumstances may happen, but he plays with your mind.
Yeah, that's what happened to Elijah. That's just amazing, and it's a sad story about Elijah. Mm-hmm. Amazing victory that probably none of us will ever be able to say, hey, we did this. There was this actual physical miracle in front of a bunch of people, and
I wouldn't mind doing that part. The slaughtering the other prophets would be a little stretchy for me, but hey, that